So we are live. I welcome you all. Today we are talking with two special guests, Richard Gedney, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Edward Escobar. And we are doing a UPS SPVD driver interview. Richard, go ahead and tell us, what is SPVD?
We've got some, okay, there's just a lot of background noise. SPVD driver stands for Seasonal Personal Vehicle Driver. UPS does this twice a year. They do it during their peak season, which is from October 15th to January 15th. Then they do it again, which a lot of people don't realize. They do it from about May 15th to May, June, July, August to about August 15th, somewhere around there. So you usually have 2 times a year that you can do this.
Interesting. And we actually spoke about this 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I also saw that I think the rideshare guy did something similar. But I mean, I remember us to schedule a meeting. It was at least 3-4 weeks ago. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's correct. We don't want people to think we just came up with this. We've been talking back and forth about this for 3 or 4 weeks now. The reason that this job is so good is that, and we could talk a little bit about this later, is that Uber and Lyft and all these gig companies can have flexibility. You can, and UPS is a good example of that you can have flexibility. At the SPVD pays $21 an hour to $30 an hour. Now, it goes higher depending on location, so that is the range in that. The other good thing about it is that other than the Uber, each day,
okay,
so you're paid whatever the going rate is, 57 cents a mile. And there's another thing that a lot of people don't mention. If you're using your own phone, you're getting $5 a day to use their app. So your phone is paid for the whole month or 2 or 3 months.
That's
so.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I have about 5 or 6 questions lined up. So obviously the first one, what is a UPS seasonal personal vehicle driver? I think, do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that, or do you think we?
So, no, we can get a little bit more, and then I'm always able to take more questions from your audience. Cool. I wanted to let them know as well, and afterwards they can email me, and I'll give you my email address.
Perfect.
So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Awesome.
Okay?
I'll put the
so basically, you're driving just like you do with the gig companies. You're driving your own vehicle. It has to be dent and ding free, because when you go in for your interview, they will take photographs of it.
Okay.
So it has to be acceptable to them. It's the same as a gig company. So it can be an older vehicle. It doesn't have to be brand new, but it has to, you're going to pack as many boxes as you can into that vehicle. There's actually a video that I show the setup of my 2013 Toyota Prius.
Okay.
So that Prius will you'll be able to put a lot more than you can think. I put 53 packages in that Prius before.
Wow. And they don't worry about the inside, right? They don't worry about the inside. They want to just have a very good outside appearance, right?
You are presenting UPS, which is a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Right. So
they want you. You cannot have any stickers or anything on the outside of the vehicle. It has to be clean.
Okay.
So, and of course, wash it every once in a while.
Right, and you don't have to have a UPS sticker on the outside, do you? Do you have to have a UPS sticker?
Nope, I don't want you to have any stickers on the vehicle whatsoever.
It will just a bit, just to explain that this is a seasonal opportunity for drivers that is offered by UPS. It's a holiday seasonal opportunity.
And
it's actually summer. It's 2 times a year.
And what are roughly the dates, if people can sort of gear up for that? What are the dates roughly? When?
Okay, what you want to do always with this, you always want to apply with UPS for the peak holiday season, first week of October. You want to do the same for the summer. You want to apply with UPS the first week of May for their summer SPVD drivers.
And then the big question, many people will ask, and I'm super curious. So what does UPS seasonal personal vehicle driver pay? What do you get paid there?
Okay, you get 20. Again, it varies depending on the market, but it varies from $21 an hour, which is somewhat typical,
wow,
on it, the certain markets actually do pay up to $30 an hour.
Wow.
Then, as I said before, you get the miles. They reimburse you for miles.
Oh, so they do.
The app is doing this. It's tracking you on all this stuff.
Okay.
So, because once you scan your first package of the day, it gives you your schedule, all your packages that you'll be delivering. It does your route and all that stuff, and it shows how many miles you'll be traveling. You know, the same as Uber and Lyft and all these other companies.
Right.
And like I said before, they pay $5 a day if you're using your own phone. Now, here's the kicker. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this. You are paid overtime per day with UPS.
Really?
So say you work 3 hours. You work say you work 3 days. Okay, you work say 10 hours per day. That's 30 hours. So every day you work 2 hours overtime. So you get typical 8 hours, then you work 2 hours. So you're paid for 6 hours overtime. You don't have to be over 40 hours.
Wow.
So you're getting, time and a half.
Yeah.
For those extra 6 hours. So that to me means a lot.
And I mean, you've done this. So what is a typical? What was like a typical shift in the season? I mean, how many hours would you put in? Just typical.
Well, they really need people. They're advertising they need 100,000 workers for this peak holiday season, just
Wow.
a peak holiday season.
Wow.
So you can work usually as many hours as you can, but we're also talking about you can set with the app, do less hours. You could do, I think, 6 or something like that. You don't have to work every day.
Right.
So this gives you flexibility.
Fantastic.
The other thing is they will provide you usually with 2 shirts and 1 or 2 pair of pants.
Okay.
You can also ask for a vest, which is you're going to be working sometimes if you take long hours, say if you work 10 or 12 hours, and they really do need drivers that work longer hours. It's all up to you.
Right.
But you want a reflective vest. So you always ask for the reflective vest. It says
Smart.
seasonal worker or seasonal helper on the back.
I like that. And
and carry a flashlight with you because you will be working into the late hours. Because with the SPVD driver, you can into the centers, into the dispatch centers until the package cars, which are the big brown trucks, they're called package cars, until they leave. Then you can come in and get your packages. So you will start sometimes between 8, 9, or 9:30 because sometimes they'll have briefings or meetings, which will run longer.
Okay.
So that means sometimes if you're doing a full day or longer, you will be out at night. So you always have to have a flashlight with you.
That's fantastic. And then, for example, I mean, to get ready for this application, what documents do you need to provide them? And do you take pictures of your car, insurance? What is needed there? What do drivers need to get together?
They want you to have proof that you're the registered driver for that vehicle. When you go into jobs-ups.com, type in your area code, where you live, and then put seasonal package vehicle driver. It'll start your application. It'll pull up all these things. But they want driver proof of insurance, that you are the person that is insured on that vehicle. And again, they'll take pictures of your car while you're there, and they'll do a background check on you.
Okay.
And usually, that's the other thing with UPS. They're a little bit like the military.
Okay.
Sometimes things get lost in the wash.
Okay.
So usually your background could be 2 or 3 days on up to 2 weeks. Don't be disheartened. Get back in touch with them. And the other thing is they'll open up seasonal offices. If you know where that seasonal office is, or if that's where you have interviewed, you don't hear back from them, physically go to the office, be polite, be nice, don't be, pushy, and go and ask if you have qualified as an SPD driver, or if not, can I be a helper this season, which pays $14 an hour.
Cool.
So that's your backup for this,
That's awesome. And then what about the insurance? Can I just go there with a regular insurance, or do I need any special commercial insurance? How does that work?
Well, they do. This year they gave me some papers with the insurance. You're going to have to ask them more pointedly. I don't have that paper since we were kind of rushing here. I was trying to get all this stuff together.
No, we can add
so I
that
do apologize not being ready.
No problem.
So, but they do give you some insurance that I believe, just like with anything, the accident will usually fall on your insurance first, and then they would probably be the secondary. But I had all those papers. I just don't have them right here.
Yeah, no, I was the guy
that. You ask them about that,
And then
clarify, Richard, also.
you could clarify the difference between the helper and then the driver. Why is it $14 versus the other amount that you said that could be up to $30?
Okay, $14 now for a driver helper. You're just on the package car, the truck with the driver. So he's pulling the package out of the back, scanning it, and then you're just running it to the door. And sometimes you literally will have to go as quick as you can. You watch out for traffic. Is always left, right, and left. That's UPS. And
Right.
if you're driving or you're getting out of the vehicle, you look left, right, and left before you start out. So that's. They say, well, you've got too many, tickets on your driver's license. Say, well, no, that's going to come off next year. But how about do you have any driver helpers available that I could do instead? That's your backup. We talked about always having side gig work.
Is that the max then that they will be getting per hour?
Yeah, that's pretty typical. Yeah, that's pretty typical because
So the driver gets all the other additional benefits then for their vehicle and so on, everything else, right? Because they have more resources committed.
Right. All you're doing, you actually go on with your regular clothes as a driver helper. You just put on a vest. That's basically it. So you're not putting out anything. A good pair of shoes. Other than that, you're not putting out any money at being a helper. So
Right.
and
And then
you will get a lot of work.
It sounds definitely, and I mean, especially because it's peak season. Question: when you go for those photos, you mentioned dings. They don't want any dings or dents. Is that done at one of their facilities? Do you go? Is it like a center?
No, that's right. Well, yeah, it's no center. Just when you go in for your interview, that's they'll say, okay, when they greet you, everything's COVID protocol now.
Okay.
So basically, you'd go in, you would sign in with the guards. You would wait there at the guard station, keeping proper distance, social distancing.
Okay.
And then the HR person would come down and get you and say, look, you do want to park close wherever the security will let you to facilitate the HR coming out and taking photographs at that time.
Okay.
All the HR do it a little differently, but that's basically what I've noticed that they've done the last 2 years.
So you could clarify that the helper will also get overtime if they push into overtime. Which is
yes. Now this is not union work. This is all non-union work.
Okay.
So they will. That's the good thing about UPS is that you go over that 8 hours each day. You get into overtime. So.
And I mean, just out of curiosity, like mileage-wise, I mean, are you driving some really long distance, or is it just like very well coordinated?
Again, it depends on the route. See, they assign you specific routes.
Okay.
That are unique names. So you'll come in, you'll see your route name, and then the way UPS does it is that your packages, and if you notice, if you ever get a UPS package, it'll have like 100 to sometimes you see a 400 or 800 on the package. Goes basically from 100 to 800 from what I can recall.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, Professor. If you
no. I was just,
things here.
I wanted to ask Edward something. So, I mean, Edward knows that this BS that they're trying to sell us, that, we're going to lose our flexibility, we're going to lose our freedom. I mean, I'm talking about gig companies. That's obviously nonsense. But I mean, it sounds like you're getting all the flexibility in the world with these UPS guys. It sounds like, I mean,
that's correct. Let me allow clarification for people that don't know.
Okay.
Look, the government does not determine how the business model is going to be applied. All they do is they regulate if it is not done legally. So flexibility, freedom, all of that is determined by the hiring entity if they bring you on as an employee. But if you are a real independent contractor, then of course that is the maximum amount of freedom and flexibility that anyone can have, because you are a true independent contractor that sets your own rates, terms, and conditions,
right.
Not the fake news offering that is being presented by Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Postmates. That is fake news, people. You have to understand that. And they are trying to take the name. They're hijacking the legal classification called independent contract. They are hijacking it, and then they are specifically for their application. So don't think that you're a real independent contractor, because you're not. What you're doing is they're in between the two to violate the existing labor law and for it to go into effect. That is giving them special permission above the law, and that is not acceptable for the American people. The taxpayers at the end of the day are going to end up paying for it. And drivers, workers pay for it doubly so. How's that? Because first, you are being basically taken advantage of up front. Then on top of that, when you go to pay taxes, so that is not acceptable. Every other business has to compete fairly and has to abide by the labor laws and the existing rules that are in place. And they think that they do not have to play by the rules. It's unacceptable. So we say vote no on Proposition 22 for those of you who haven't voted yet.
And if I could just add to that, today is truly the last day. So if you're in California, if you come across this video, if you come across any of the no on Proposition 22 links, I mean, turn to social media. Even if we can reach a few additional people by the end of the day, we've done our job. And Edward just highlighted the big lie for you, right? So don't fall into this trap. You have to go the no on Prop 22 route. Over the weeks, we've given you hundreds of reasons. I mean, Richard, Gedney, and Edward just came on board today at the last minute and gave you a whole bunch of additional reasons to vote no on Proposition 22.
I'd like to take it one step further, Torsten.
Sure.
Is that people have to understand that this is not just about the rideshare industry and gig workers.
Right.
And if you allow a corporation to come in and write their own labor laws just for their own benefit, you could imagine other corporations will follow suit. What does that mean? It means that no person in full-time employment is safe. That means that a corporation could create an app, just like Uber and Lyft have done.
Yes.
They could go in and they could tell the workers, hey, either you accept being independent contractors or you're all fired, because we're not going to give you any rights, any protections, any benefits. We're going to take all that away, and then we're going to call everyone an independent contractor, even though you can't set your own rates, terms, and conditions. That's how bad we're talking about. How low can it go? That's how low it can be. It's
right.
A threat to undermine full-time employment. So all these people that are using Uber and Lyft and the other gig work as a form of fill for the amount of money that they're not making in their full-time employment, well, guess what? Your full-time employment could be threatened by the same thing. So you're coming over here undermining the full-time workers over here. How would you like it if the full-time workers over here went over to your place of work and undermined you? Not acceptable. We need to stick together and stand together in solidarity. That is the answer. Solidarity. We stand together.
Amen.
Or we fall together.
Absolutely. Amen. I love it. That's what I love about Edward's passion. You guys know each other well. You're in Atlanta, right, Richard?
Yes, Atlanta.
Beautiful. Big decisions there today. Big voting.
I've known Edward longer than I've worked with Edward. I've worked with Edward for a while now.
And you guys also didn't you guys also work at that that function when what was that? That was not too long ago, that virtual conference, when that was in October, right? You guys did that
AITR?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, just recently, the IATR, International Association of Transportation Regulators, the president extended a personal invitation for us to create and focus a driver focus group on the discussion of AB5 and Prop 22. On the real, though, on the real. He had another expert panel, supposedly of collaboration, where you had the Black Car Fund, you had the IDG, Independent Drivers Guild in New York, and you had Harry Campbell, rideshare guy, and you had also, I believe his name, Chris Matthew, and he's the CEO of Alto. And so they have discussions on that. And a lot of people actually should really look into Alto, because that gentleman, that CEO of Alto, wow, great guy.
Really?
And he really has everything together.
How do we spell that? ALTO?
ALTO, yeah. Okay. And they are setting up shop in Los Angeles. So
really?
They've got a presence, I believe, in Florida, Texas, and now in California. So, and they are bringing on drivers as employees, an employee model, and they're providing the vehicles, and these vehicles are very nice, and they have the COVID protection shield in between the front area and the back for the driver. If you go online and take a look at it, it's very sharp. Very sharp.
Edward, try and get us that CEO on a joint discussion. I think that would be a great show.
Sure.
Richard, are you gearing up for the next season now with UPS?
Yes, I've been hired on. This is the other thing to keep in mind. UPS is expanding quite a bit.
Yes.
They're starting new centers. So you might have 600 people or 1,000 people that need to be hired for these new centers. And I'll be working at a brand new center this year. So that's they are expanding. You're saying Amazon expanding, but UPS is as well. And they treat you a whole heck of a lot better than Amazon does.
It sounds like you're happy with them. And I mean, I put the website was www.jobs-ups.com. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Jobs-ups.com. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, is there anything else we need to cover? Because I got to rock and roll. I'm very slow with my foot and my leg.
And I hope you're doing better and healing up good. One thing, Professor, and Edward knows I always talk about this, try MHBOT, mild hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It'll heal you in about half to about a third of the time.
Fantastic.
So do give that a try. That'll make you feel better, too.
I love it. I love those
So thank
tips.
you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Here, Professor. We always appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, and you're always welcome.
I'm the founder of the Alliance for Independent Workers, the hashtag Drivers Unite movement.
Hashtag Drivers Unite. I'll put the hashtag there as well. And we'll have Edward and we'll have Richard on again. You guys bring me, I'll facilitate the platform. I always love having you guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. As always.
Thank you too. And everyone, vote today. No on Prop 22, right? Let them know. Vote no on Prop 22. Thank you, gentlemen. Bye-bye. Appreciate you. Bye-bye. Okay, cool. Great. Always nice to have new guests on the show. I've had Edward several times, good friend, hardcore warrior, fighting for the drivers. Big day today. I welcome you all. I've left the links in there. The UPS sounds like an amazing seasonal job, and like I say, he said they're looking for about 100,000 people. Pay sounds great. Flexibility sounds great. Provide the uniforms. The reflective uniforms. All you have to have is the car's got to be dent or ding free, and the process seems pretty quick. I mean, got a lot of good input there from Richard as far as those flexible job opportunities, and I mean, just look at the hourly what you're earning there. I mean, I wouldn't even think twice, right? I wouldn't even think twice. If you stuck in, ridiculous pay with Lyft or Uber, and you're just burning up so much gas. I mean, why not go this route? Why not try this? So great input here. That's the gentleman over here. And then with Edward, his hashtag Drivers Unite movement. And then I'm also going to leave you Richard Gedney's email. In case you have any questions, I'm going to leave that right now. It is RICH, Rich, GEDNEY, Gedney at yahoo.com. Feel free to reach out to him, and a shout out to Edward, hashtag Drivers Unite. I've used that one many a times, the Drivers Unite movement. Again, thank you, everyone. I wish you a great election voting day. I hope this day goes peaceful. I hope that we don't have any issues with crazies like Proud Boys and people like that. May it be a very easy, seamless voting day for both sides, for Democrats and Republicans, without any voter intimidation, without any shenanigans. I'm very unhappy with the United States Postals, not to be confused with UPS, but the United States Postal Services, the crap, the shit that they trying to pull this last moment. Judge said, get the mail out. Don't hold on to the mail. So we gotta hold these people accountable. Let every person vote. Every single person should vote. IQ Boy is in the house. He says, get a great pair of shoes if you decide to work for UPS. Great input, great feedback. All right, World Data and everyone in the house, please, one last, hit that like button. I'm out of here. I'm going to have another guest later and a couple of more videos coming out. Super busy day, and I've got to take care of the kids. So I got to get rocking and rolling. Peace with you. Sanitize your cars. Wear your masks if you're out there today, right? Be respectful to one another, no matter what political leaning. Respect each other. Wear your masks. Keep the distance. And get your vote in. Your vote is muy importante. Please go out and vote. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.